Thank you, Cantor.
You're welcome, Rabbi.
So as Rabbi Westrike brought our attention to in Ra'eh in this week's Torah portion, we have this incredible, deep, important opportunity when we read Ra'eh that in front of us is blessing and curse. And it doesn't just say choose blessing and curse, it says that you can actually make choices that enable you to be a blessing or a curse. And I wanted to talk tonight about what that means and how simple and elemental it can actually be with two words in the Hebrew language. And I know Cantor Addy is a big fan of Hebrew, as many of us are. And I find this to be really interesting because what it is teaching us how to be a blessing or a curse, how to make that choice, is very simply about paying attention. Now, how many people here have their device on them? Be honest, who has their device on them? Okay, I'm not going to ask you to take it out, but I will tell you that our devices can be very instrumental when it comes to what we're paying attention to. And I mean that because there's something inside of your phone that says screen time. And if you haven't unpacked that, it's one of these things that's actually tracking what you are paying attention to on your phone every day. And I don't want to wreck your Shabbat, maybe do this on Sunday, but you can look at it and you can pull it up and it will tell you exactly how many minutes and seconds you are spending on TikTok and WhatsApp and texting and photos and on the telephone. It actually runs down how much time you are paying attention to all of that. For some of us, it's an hour a day. For us, it could be 10 hours a day. Look at it, it will really, really focus you on what it means to pay attention, what you're paying attention to in those 24 hours. In Hebrew, attention are lasim lev. Can everybody say that? Lasim lev. Lasim to place or put, and what's your lev?
They're working on it.
Your heart. To place your heart means to pay attention to that which is important to you. And I think Ra'eh is trying to remind us that we have things that are taking our attention away from the most important things all the time in our lives. And it's really up to us to bring our focus back to Lasim Lev. How beautiful is that? That paying attention is to place your heart on something or somebody. Well, thank you so much, Shiva. So there are many ways to pay attention. We pay attention to our loved ones. We can pay attention to Shabbat, to these 25 hours. Ra'eh says also pay attention to what you are eating. And that actually could lead you to be a blessing. And I just want to read you one of the things that it says in Ra'eh about what we eat. Just simply about the birds that are kosher or are not kosher. Listen to this. I think it's so amazing. It says, "You may eat any pure bird. The following you may not eat: the eagle, the vulture, and the black vulture, the kite, the falcon, and the buzzard of any variety, every variety of raven, the ostrich, the nighthawk, the seagull, and the hawk of any variety, the little owl, the great owl, and the white owl, the pelican and the bustard, and the cormorant, the stork, any variety of heron, the hoopoe and the bat. All winged swarming things are impure for you. They not be eaten. You may only eat pure winged creatures." What an amazing list of things to pay attention to. It's not just saying, I don't think it's saying just about those specific animals. I think it's actually bringing our attention to the fact that if we go by our human inclination, we will devour the earth. We'll just eat everything. We'll be like the great white sharks of the eating kingdom, right? So these might be arbitrary, they might not, but they're saying pay attention to what you're eating because it means you'll be a blessing if you refrain from devouring everything. So I love in Ra'eh that we're given this opportunity to place our heart where it's important. So I want you to take this next 25 hours and maybe figure on lessening the amount of screen time by focusing more on the places you really intentionally can place your heart. And once you do that, you have about 4 or 5 more weeks before we do tshuva, before we're really placing our hearts and turning and being given the opportunity to change this next year. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Now we're entering the second half of the month of Av right now. And Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, the first few weeks of Av, were very solemn and sad, and where we need consolation. And the second 2 weeks are actually brought into our calendar with Tu B'Av, or the 15th of the month of Av, which really is kind of like a combination of Valentine's Day plus Sadie Hawkins in the Jewish calendar. So it's full of joy and it's full of love. And so may the next 2 weeks, as we prepare for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, be full of love. And may we be inspired by the beautiful words of Cantor Addie's song, Heart of Mine.